So, time for Ancient Map 2 in the grand final of the IEM Chengdu 2024 Oceania closed qualifier. And it might also be the final map of said qualifier, because yesterday, Grayhound kind of dismantled Mindfreak on this map. And we're expecting that might be the case again after a 13-4 win on Anubis.
Like Grayhound already picking up the pace, leaving one player towards middle. Mindfreak have taken a lot of space on over there. Vexite keeping an eye on things as this B execute gets kicked off. Danger trying to play retake. Able to take one with him, and in middle, Vexite doing some work, but Thunder gets cleaned up as the bomb goes down.
Not too bad of a start though for Grayhound, all things considered, with that bomb plant. They're going to keep on rolling out through long, and I'm looking towards short. They don't actually find Danger, who's been able to sneak through that smoke. There's a tap on the defuse. Grayhound can't really do too much about that, but the fact is, it isn't actually a stick, which Grayhound have now come to find out. Alistar, he's got time to play with here. 10 seconds to defuse. Needs one more bullet. He's got to swing. He's got to hit the shot, and he doesn't. Oh, there was 6 HP in it, but Forlex sits the defuse and wins the round for Mindfreak.
Another pistol one. The trend just continues. It's kind of unreal. We've seen how many maps? This will be the 4th map we've seen between Grayhound and Mindfreak, and the 5th half. And so far, how many pistols is that? I think Mindfreak have won like 2, 4, 6. Like, I don't even know. Like, all but one pistol. I only remember Grayhound winning one pistol in the upper bracket semi. All the rest have gone to Mindfreak. Bomb plant will mean Grayhound has got this force coming for them. Side just runs straight through the cheetah smoke, no fear. Tuck's going to swing in with the MP9, and that SMG a little bit superior against armored opponents. Not that Vexite even connected a bullet. It's a B ramp contact though.
Well, headshot onto Danger already, but not capitalized on just yet. Eventually finished off by Dexter, who's found a double on the entry, and meanwhile, Lins is putting in work. Dexter's just fearless at this point, and keeps pushing through. That round ends up being a bit of a nothing burger for Mindfreak in the end.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we've seen from Grayhound so often. Especially if they get bomb plant T-side. You know, even if they lose pistol, they just force an insta-win. Mindfreak now double eco, considering what to do here. Tux with a little bit extra cash compared to everyone else, thanks to the fact that he got the MP9 kill on Vexite and Cheetah. Regardless, you will see a force play out here for Mindfreak. DPR the only one to save for an AWP later on. Grayhound, after a lot of presence and multiple B-side after plants in the first couple of rounds, more grouped towards A and middle. To maybe take a bit of mid control, take a duel towards DPR, who's armorless. Without an upgraded pistol over towards Cubby's side. They triple nade it, trying to find him, but he's already well and truly out of there.
Supar playing a dangerous game with Dexter on the other side of this one. Haven't actually spotted him yet, but quick enough, sharp enough. That's the first one for Grayhound, but a fairly inconsequential kill, all things considered, when Grayhound, for the most part, are setting up toward B. Will help to pull a little bit more of the defense away from that area of the map, but they're still going to have to get a bit of work done on the ramp. And Tux easily dispatched off by Vexite. He's helped out in the end by Liaz as well for the 2-for-1. And Mindfreak scurrying their way over, but yeah, they're taking their sweet time about things here. Different approach in that round for sure from Grayhound, but it works the same. 2-1.
Yeah, full rifles up. Straight into an anti-eco here for Grayhound. Mindfreak, after this round, I mean 2.4 loss bonus, should get a full buy together. AWP up on DPR yet again, who has not really looked very scary versus Grayhound compared to some of the scorelines we saw him put up against Rooster so far in this Chengdu qualifier. Five players in middle here for Mindfreak. Multiple HE nades invested by Grayhound. I think they can tell how many bodies there are in middle, and they're just going to get the garden hose out and get to spraying.
Wow. That round was over in the blink of an eye. But Mindfreak will get the guns in their hands, and this is where things do start to get a little bit more interesting. However, it does have to be said that Mindfreak were not able to pick up too many rounds on Ancient yesterday against Grayhound either. Just the 4. And of those 4, all of them came on their CT side. So you'd probably want to be seeing them at a pretty sizable number at the end of this CT half to have any chance of winning this map, and it hasn't really started very well for them. Lane control attempted by Mindfreak, so too mid control. And that seems to have worked out pretty well, at least the fight on lane initially, but Vexite is able to get 2 just walking his way through the smoke at the doors and kind of equalizes things out, not to mention the damage done to Forlex and DPR, and the fact that Alistair has sort of just walked his way out onto A. All things pointing towards Grayhound having the advantage now.
I mean, I think Alistair, recognizing how much presence there was in the middle and what the setup was, knows that he's got space on A. Even if someone's playing retake over on the side there, he probably would have been pre-scoped to clear that. 1-for-1 between Supar and Liaz. Leaves Grayhound in a 2-on-1, and they're well aware that DPR earlier on was over at lane side. He's going to try and whisk it through the smoke. Instantly punished by Dexter, and the money reset yet again here for Mindfreak. Should be able to at least invest in some pistols here, if not maybe a Hero M4 or something. But same story here for Grayhound. Excellent money, just rolling along on the T side without too many issues.
Quick smoke to be long. Mindfreak with a big stack over on that side of the map aren't going to be able to do anything about the presence in mid. And outside of Vexite just throwing a bit of util on that side of the map to keep Mindfreak interested, there's not a whole lot happening for Grayhound on B. Just a clean walk into the A side. A good call from Grayhound. Worked out perfectly for them.
Should be pretty easy pickings from this point. Saw a similar round to this in the upper bracket final, where Grayhound was able to take so much space over on the spawn side and across the map and just kind of pin Mindfreak into the B side of the map, understanding perfectly what's clean and what's dirty and playing around that well. Vexite trying to punish the B push, loses his head, but an AK over on T spawn side when you've got a really favorable A side after plant, probably not going to make too much difference, and I think they're just going to save it at this point.
Fair enough. But in saying that, 5-1 for Grayhound. They don't seem to be having too many difficulties on Ancient either. Just 1 foot in front of the other for Grayhound at them, really focusing on too much more than these rounds that they're kind of eating up now.
You know what's interesting? I'm just taking a look at who's in Chengdu already. I look at the Asian qualifier and I see that Tai Lu is invited to it, even though they already played the Chinese qualifier and lost to Lin Vision.
Wait, what?
So Tai Lu and Mongols are invited, and then there's 2 open qualifier teams for the Asian qualifier for Chengdu.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Well, it sort of makes sense. I'll have to talk about it in a second, though, because this is going to be a gun round out for Mindfreak, where once again, they've really put their resources toward mid and B and just left A completely open, favoring the retake on that side of the map. Which is not something too out of the ordinary. Retaking on the A side seems to be something that most teams are pretty happy to do. But may not be easy if Alistair's going to just pop off like that. 2 quick AWP shots, and there goes a couple of the Mindfreak players. Do have Vexite and Dexter causing problems over toward B as well. Just in all facets of the map, Grayhound are besting Mindfreak. Doesn't really seem to matter what kind of a setup Mindfreak runs on this CT side. Grayhound have an answer for it.
Pretty clean gun round yet again. You can see what Mindfreak's going to put together here. Obviously, they're stacking up the loss bonus. I'm surprised to see them even consider saving this one. But I guess they're just trying to min-max their buys and put whatever they can together here in this situation. It's been performance from everyone on Grayhound. No one really lagging behind in any of these games. Gets Grayhound. Gets Mindfreak, rather. Straight up middle.
Ooh.
Down B round.
Oh, no.
Alistair's too quick, mate.
Yeah. Look, if you're not gonna get that kill, then things are just not going right for Mindfreak on this map.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like anything's really coming together. Grayhound are really just running around all over the place, winning duels everywhere. So
They're looking good to go through to Chengdu. It's an interesting field at that tournament. Taking a little bit of a look at who's in attendance.
yeah, so I was sort of wondering what was going on with those Chengdu qualifiers, because I thought when we casted the IEM Chengdu qual for China that there was going to be a local hero invite in addition to that.
But they're doing an Asian qualifier instead.
Well, the way it was explained to me was that qualifier, that China qualifier, was
the local hero.
The local hero invite, basically.
Yeah.
And instead of it being an invite, it was a LAN qualifier. And now the Asia qualifier is just the Asia qualifier, as like what you would normally see at any IEM event, similar to how we have an Oceania qualifier.
It's one of those unique scenarios where that makes sense in that context because that's the local hero invite, but they decided to play a qualifier for it rather than just invite someone.
Yep.
Which I think is good because obviously Lin Vision and Tai Lu, you could go either which way on it. And I think that obviously Lin Vision proved that they deserve the invite more. How competitive China is at the moment. It's just always interesting to see, like you would never ever see it in any other circumstance where a team plays one qualifier, loses, and then plays a qualifier for a different region in big quotation marks.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And then gets another chance to qualify.
Yeah, it's almost like if you're going to play the China qualifier, you probably shouldn't get to play the Asia qualifier as well. You would have to pick one or the other, but yeah, grey area, I suppose. DPR trying to take a leaf out of Alice's book, and he's been able to hit that no-scope onto Vex site, so looking a little better for Mindfreak in this round, especially with that util slowing Grayhound down on the A entry. Grayhound still has a little bit to say about it, and Alistair can't hit the flick this time around, but Oh, I thought the smoke might have bounced out of the Molotov. He'll survive on one tick.
4-on-3. Best chance Mindfreak's had at a round in a while. Grayhound very much pinned in towards A main here. DPR on the line with the AWP and has a flash to potentially activate Supar into main. Crept onto a nice little off angle here. DPR hits that shot, further extending the man advantage. It's a 3-man setup in Donut here for Mindfreak.
Going to be over until it's over for Grayhound, and they have actually been able to get the plant down, which is somewhat surprising considering there was 3 players standing behind that smoke, but Dexter putting it close to the wall rather than a little bit further out might have made it a little bit more difficult for Mindfreak to find an angle. Now though, they are certainly going to have to find some angles. Inns has made noise dropping off the shelf, but it doesn't seem to matter. He's just sharp enough to win the duel anyway. Util's getting tossed on in. On that bomb just yet, even though the smoke is up and Inns is spamming on through. He's still being able to win this round. Time for Tux is going to be a problem here. I don't know that he's got to the bomb in time. And despite a fairly solid effort from Mindfreak, they still can't win another round. It is 8-1.
It's domination, mate. No other way to put it. I thought it was interesting, M80 won the NA qualifier over Liquid. That's an interesting little addition to the tournament. Those guys are cooking pretty cool over there in NA. Like a big fight over Cheetah this time around. Yeah. Able to find Alistair in transition. Backside, can he double up? His crosshair placement, far too good. Now Danger playing the pivot position on the site with nothing but an MP9. Very awkward position to be in. Luckily, he's got 4legs for a bit of backup. Supar with a decent timing in middle, but can't manage to calibrate in time onto Inns. So Grayhound going to call the cancel after picking that player rotating off the A site. They know they've got space elsewhere. They've spotted both players on B. Next side, look at that. Perfect awareness.
Just going to stick around for another one here by the looks of things as well. Forlex not sure what to do. To be fair, what can you do in these kinds of circumstances? He'll crouch walk underneath the scope of Vexite. But nonetheless, it'll be information for Grayhound that this round is pretty much over. Forlex is not going to attempt to win it. In fact, try to save the gun, but Vexite's there waiting for him, and he won't miss on his second attempt. 9-1, Grayhound, another step forward.
Quick smoke down to bottom mid here for Mindfreak. No one on the A site. Looks like potentially another lane setup. Grayhound wanting the 1-1-3. They're going to be contesting this early on. Sid fight already in the entrance to Cheetah. Forlex just W'ing through the smoke with an MP9. Half the players in the server dead before this round even really gets kicked off.
Inns is able to get out though with the bomb. That's the crucial detail. And once again, Alistair is just W-keying over on the A bomb site. He has gotten so deep into CT spawn. It's going to work out for Grayhound again. Dexter wanted to molly shelf, but he's not really going to be able to do that with any relative safety. So he dumps it in the middle of mid. Bit of aim prac there for him. See if he can land the spray down on the second player. But he knows this round is pretty much wrapped up. And Alistair not even afraid. 1 HP peak onto danger. Secure the 10th round for Grayhound, and they're in a position to make this an even more dominant display in the grand final than it was in the first matchup between these two teams.
Oh, the best looking buy to close out this half for Mindfreak. Couple MP9s, famous. A little bit of a lack of util on the players who went for rifles. Inns is taking the bomb towards B. So it looks like a fake to maybe set up Inns for a sick post-plant clutch. But knowing Grayhound, they'll probably hit the entries on A and wrap through CT spawn would be my guess. See how this round actually ends up playing out. DPR with just an MP9 to hold on A here though.
DPR didn't look like he was going to be checked, but Vexite in the end did turn around and secure that kill before he went down. Overall, favorable trades for Grayhound, but what's interesting about this round is Inns is just putting the bomb down on B on his own, so Mindfreak think this is an A retake, but it is anything but. They're not even going to be able to retake the A site to recognize that the bomb wasn't even planted there. That's maximum disrespect by Grayhound, but the score is 11-1, so power to them. Well, I'd love to tell you that the grand final is delivering here in the Oceania qualifier for IEM Chengdu, but you can see the scores for yourself. 13-4 on map 1. Anubis goes the way of Grayhound, and they're currently up 11-1 on Ancient. And honestly, it almost seems like they're just getting a little bit bored in this matchup as well, because they're getting up to some shenanigans, and it's really only going to take a few rounds to lock this one down, unless Mindfreak can find a way to dig deep.
They have looked at Inns and his 6-strap from the last round, and I think that has shifted the Oceanic meta here, because as we can see, Mindfreak, 4 players, bottom of B ramp, Danger, solo, taking the bomb into A. This could be groundbreaking. Inns only goes 1 for 1, but he hasn't really been a good enough salesman, or Mindfreak rather, haven't really been good enough salesman, because Grayhound is not buying that this is a B hit yet. They still have X side on the A side. He has not budged an inch.
He's not going to.
He's still going to drop the bomb. This is unreal.
Oh, it would have actually almost been worth going in for the knife there, I reckon.
There's no way that's happened like that.
Well, the round's not over. I mean, it is still 3-on-2, so there's every possibility that Grayhound could lose this one, but a lot of it actually kind of relies on Vexite just surviving here and buying enough time for Dexter to make this flank happen. They don't seem particularly aware of the fact that Dexter could be here in CT spawn. So the second time the bomb plant is going to be denied. And Vexite's now in the 1v1 after Dexter got himself a quick 2k. But Tux will show that Boomer is greater than Zoomer. And Mindfreak will win yet another pistol against Grayhound.
That was undoubtedly one of the rounds of all time.
That's true.
And I can say that with confidence. Mindfreak double their rounds, and everyone in the Twitch chat goes wild as they win yet another pistol against Grayhound. Unreal. And now we get the round 2 force spy to follow. Get me out.
Bit of patience from Mindfreak to start off round 14. Happy with the mid control that they've got. Going to slow things down off the back of that. And not really a whole lot that Grayhound's going to be able to do at the moment. Just waiting to see what they're going to get from Mindfreak. Looks as though it will be the B site that's going to be tested, which is not bad news as far as Grayhound is concerned. 3 players over there.
Mindfreak grouping up towards B. Plenty of players still over here for Grayhound. Inns has got a nade. Smoke nade on Liaz. Vexite playing the pivot over here on Killer with the MP9 as the execute comes in. AGs are chunking a fair bit of damage as they try to scale up into the site, at least going 1 for 1 so far.
That'll be enough to actually get them to the site. But Liaz will try to deny the bomb plant. Crosshair just a hair off. So Grayhound now with a pretty tough ask, having to retake 4-on-4, weapon disadvantage. Nice kill from Liaz though, onto 4lex, gives them at least the numbers. And Smoke's now getting tossed into ramp. Might make the job a little bit easier. There's a good trade from Inns, and Dexter chimed in with one as well. It's all falling apart for Mindfreak. The Deagles proving to be a little bit too much to deal with, but Inns in the 1-on-1. Does he have time for the defuse? Doesn't think so. And so he's just going to have to save the AK. And it is Mindfreak that do get their round in the end, but they had to go through it kicking and screaming.
You forced up here as Grayhound. They might just do it, to be honest. Drop an M4 over. Could just go pistols and armor as well. Play the longer game. It does seem like they actually will eco. So giving a bit of respect over to Mindfreak rather. Who definitely took their losses in the last round, came down to a 1v1, so it's a full reinvestment with just rifles, not a whole lot of util to speak of, and in fact the window smokes missed, which is not ideal. Ins pushing all the way through A 5 seconds into the round, though, with an AK could definitely be problematic the longer this round goes on.
Vexite's pushing his way forward, but losing teammates here and there. So his own impact in this round might not be too good for Grayhound either way, even if he gets a kill or not. That'll be pretty much that. Nicely negotiated by Mindfreak. Alistair with just a USP here. Actually still manages to get one and a bink onto Forlex as well. Solid effort.
Needs to buy around from Grayhound though. Enough lot of money for an AWP on Alistair. See what Mindfreak has up their sleeves here on H&T side. Maybe they can go one better than last time. Quick smokes onto Cheetah and top middle. No one on A here for Grayhound. They're going to play the retake setup from Donut and looks like fight for Cheetah and Cave, or at least play heavily towards B. Throwing some progression utility down lane early on here. There's the flash up over the top to retake middle from Mindfreak. Next site, Nate's open the smoke looking for a pick on the cross. Didn't see anything in middle. Bit of maybe false information. Just going to jump spot and continue to gather some.
DPR, able to open the account again. Mindfreak on this T side starting to look a little bit better. Again, the question has to be asked whether or not they've given themselves enough to really play with. The first half was so one-sided. But it's nice to see a couple of rounds being put together in a row, and Grayhound might actually have to work to, finish off this series. Flash in, Dexter will turn from it and sprays down a couple before running out of bullets and being finished off by Tux as well. Still got to find a way to get past Vexite. Or maybe not, because he could just go back over to B.
I mean, so shorter rotates for the CTs than it is for the Ts. But In's obviously not aware that this is a reroute back towards the B site. And the Molly, at least keeping interest over there towards A. In's, despite a late rotation, still almost beats the Ts into the site. 8 seconds on the clock. Right, he's not found danger. That was the critical kill. And it's looking like Mindfreak. They're going one better. Could this be the start of the reverse sweep that we saw against Rooster, Jordan?
You're not convincing me just yet. Much as I'd like to see it from Mindfreak, I think I'm going to need to probably see something like an 11-11 scoreline before I really start to believe. And even, to be honest with you, I think even if they got to 11-11, I'd still go, Grayhound, they'll find a way to win this map, won't they? Because that is so often what they're able to do. Just when you start to, believe or stop believing for Grayhound, they remind you again why they're the number one in AU. But we're not quite there yet. Far way off it, in fact. Grayhound might just opt for a half buy in this round.
Yeah, we're getting a couple of good rounds in here for Mindfreak. Can't complain about it too much. Forced another half buy out of the Grayhound boys, down to 2k across the board. Alistair holding a bit of extra cash for fuel. Excited seeing what he can fashion with this A1S. Cute little boost up play so he can get up to lane quicker. This is the power position with an A1S on this map. Play the pivot. Try to deal with mid. HE nade inside the smoke. Flash over the top. Doesn't really trouble Vexite at all.
Do wonder though if they push their way into A and Dexter's close there with the MP9. Can he line a few up? Alistair, Deagle, usually good for one. You've got Ins coming across as well. That Deagle's going to be threatening. this could be a problem for Mindfreak. They're going to have to deal with 3 players on the A bomb site, and Grayhound surely have the kinds of players that can make something happen here. One for Inns, one for Alistair. But those two both shut down, and now it's on to Vexite, who hit the headshot, but did he stop firing? I think he strafed just half a step too far. Either way, it is still a winnable round for Liaz, and he's got the M4, but more than happy to use the 5.7 instead. Mindfreak are really waiting patiently on A.
Yeah, false sense of security for Liaz. Considering that this may be a rotation over towards B through spawn. But as he hears the smoke goes down, gonna reposition back towards Donut side. Fullback's very low here. We'll try to put the bomb down. Here's
Easily.
Oh no! Oh. No, Jordan! No, 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 no.
How has that happened? I mean, if nothing else could go wrong for Mindfreak tonight, then I don't know what to say.
I gotta say, at least it wasn't at 10-10 in a make or break game. You know,
you can only laugh, really, can't you?
The stakes are not that high. Don't worry about it.
The
All
stakes are well done. They're not medium rare.
They are cooked.
Well. I think you just have to laugh that one off if you're Mindfreak and say, well, it wasn't our day. I mean, it was their day. They did a good job against Rooster. So you really have to sort of take the good with the bad. And this might just be it. Grayhound look like they're pretty ready to finish this one off. Inns waiting for the swing. He's going to be prepared for it. And Grayhound, I mean, it goes from 0 to 100 in the space of a round, really, doesn't it? DPR, he's still holding on, but he doesn't have the bomb. And he's also got to ace clutch this round out. It would be a 1v5. At least he's got time. He's really worried about what's happening behind him, which is not necessarily something he has to be too concerned about. With Alistair on the other side of this, if he starts to make his way up lane, you'd expect he'll probably be losing his life. Smoke's actually going to go in. DPR's already in front of that one. So it is just Inns over on this side of the map. 1v1 could be found.
Got a lot of space in middle. But 30 seconds on the clock. Does he even check close range angle like this? Probably need a no-scope.
Inns is not... Oh, he is looking. I don't know if he was looking in the other direction, but there's the answer. And 13-5 the scoreline, so 2-0 for Grayhound tonight. I think it's without much fanfare, really, that we welcome them to IEM Chengdu, because it did seem like it was a foregone conclusion for a little while there. But yeah, a lot to really talk about when it comes to this qualifier. I think there was...